Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. Thank you for watching this video. So in this video, we'll discuss about the research trend on the web. We can divide into two parts. The first part is about the information retrieval or the contextual information retrieval, contextual IR, and the second part is about the web mining. So let's look at the first part, contextual information retrieval. So at the end of this video, supposedly you're able to identify the process or the research trend on the web technology. Okay, contextual information retrieval is under the information retrieval part, OIR. So this field of the IR has become extremely important in the recent years due to the growing challenges represented in tapping the internet and the web as inexhaustible source of information. There's a lot of information that we can find out from the internet website. So the success of the web search engine is a testimony to this fact. Contextual retrieval is defined as the combining search technologies and knowledge about user query. What the user query, then you will try to find out, search, and user context into a single framework in order to provide the most appropriate answer for the user information needs. It is one from Bhatia and Kumar in 2010. So that means the contextual retrieval is based on what the user queries and how we can use the search technologies in order to find what the users need. The contextual IR intend to optimize the retrieval accuracy by involving two related steps. So the steps are: first, appropriately defining the context of the user information needs. So how we can define what the user needs. In other words, it's about the search context, how we do the searching based on the context. The second part is adapting the search by taking it into account in the information selection process. So these are the main two steps for retrieve the accuracy. Okay, the next one is the multifaceted concept of the context in the information retrieval. Retrieve the data. So under this part, we have 5 context specification dimension. We have device, user, task, document, and spatial temporal. Okay, you can refer to this figure. This figure shows the multifaceted concept of the context when we talk about the contextual information retrieval. So it depends on the device, the user. So the user we can categorize into two parts: personal and social, demographic, the psychological, the cognitive of the user, and then task, what kind of task needed. The fourth is the document, the data source, the document representations, and the fifth is the spatial temporal. We can divide into the geographic location and the time. So the contextual IR aims or target, or the main objective of this contextual IR is delivering the right information to the user. We want to give or provide the accurate information based on what the user query or what the user needs. Okay, this figure number 2 show you the framework of the contextual information retrieval. So based on this part, we have the query from the users, and then search to the model, and then retrieve the result and provide to the user. So it focus on the user profile modeling. So this one is user profile modeling, what the device it use, the logic, the geographical, the time base, and then this part is referred to the user itself. So we can conclude this part is the user profile modeling. The second part is the query expansion, and this part is the relevant feedback, what the response that we can give the user based on what they query using the search engine. So the user profile modeling focus on exploiting the sources of evidence that's more precisely, and it includes the approaches to build the user profile itself that allow the learning the user's contact by implicitly inferring the information from the user behavior and from the internal, external, or local context sources. So it like how to study on the user itself. Okay, for example, if you use the Facebook, when you do search something, sometimes it will pop up news, advertisement that based on what you need. So the process of searching is based on the behavior of the user itself. Okay, for the query expansion, the query expansion approach attempt to expand the original search query by adding further or new that related to the term. So that's mean it helps to extend. Let's say you just search about the computer. So it try to extend from the search computer, go to the laptop, iPad, certain that related to the things that you want to search. So these additional terms are inserted into an existing query either by the user or by the retrieval system. So that's mean retrieval system means automatically. So this part is being done automatically. Okay, and the relevant feedback, the notation of the relevant feedback or a relevant feedback we call as the RF is to take into the account the result that initially written in the response to the input queries and provide a means for automatically reformulating a query to more accurately reflect to the user interacts. So it has relationship among the three parts in order to give the response to the what user needs. Okay, the next part is about the key challenge in the research trend of the context in the IR. First challenge, how can the algorithm can be extended or developed to facilitate the user of the context in terms of the contextual. Number 2, does the user need to be actively involved to make use of the context? Number 3, where should the context information come from? How we can get the contextual information? And the 4th, how effectiveness of such method to be tested in the extended evaluation framework. So these are the research trend on the information retrieval through the website, because there is a lot of information there, and how we can let the user get what they want. Okay, the next part is about the web mining. So web mining is a process of discovery the knowledge. You have a lot of data, you have a lot of information, how we want to extract them and change the shape of the data into the knowledge. So I believe most of you already heard about the web mining, the data mining. So this about the knowledge discovery term. So web mining is a process to discover or extract information from web document and web services. So this process also known as the knowledge discovery. So when we talk about data mining, is only look for the data from several resources. When we talk about the web mining, we search the data, use the data using certain technique in order to get information from the web document or web services. Okay, there are several terms or important taxonomy for the process of discovery, the targeted knowledge, the field. Okay, the first we have data mining, knowledge discovery in a database, searching from the database, KDD, information retrieval, IR, information extraction, IE, and the web mining. So those taxonomy are related from one to another. So first we look at the data mining. So it is defined as the non-trivial extraction or of implicit, previously unknown, and potentially useful information from large data set or databases. Data mining, we get the data from large of data sets. The data set can be structured or unstructured. So we also call it as knowledge mining. Okay, the next one is the knowledge discovery in database, KDD. So process of finding the novel, interesting, and useful patterns in the data. The data is the data from the databases. So data mining is often considered as an essential step in the process of knowledge discovery in the database. Okay, we use the same technique. And then we have the IR, retrieve the amount of information of the user needs in a specific situation for solving his current problem. This one is based on the search engine. For the IE make the IR more precise, as it works at a finer grain level to transform a collection of relevant document retrieved by the IR. We retrieve the data using the IR, and then we use the information extraction using the IE. We extract the data into information that relevant from the retrieved document. And the fifth is about the web mining, the use of data mining technique to automatically retrieve, extract, and evaluate the information for knowledge discovery from web document and services. So basically, in order to discover the knowledge, we use the data mining technique. So data mining technique, we have the classification algorithm, for example. So we use that algorithm in order to find the data. So this figure show you about the web mining process. Okay, it have the data mining technique here. So data mining technique is the important technique that can be used in order to get the data. So we have the web pages. We use the IR module. So we use the IE module in order to extract the relevant data. And then we use the data mining technique or algorithm here and have the generalization module, and then go for the analysis module. This is how the process of data mining. So the major component of the web mining consists of the information retrieval module. This one. So there are consists of several modules in order to go for the web mining process. Okay, the next one is the categories of the web mining. These categories is based on the diversity of the information on the web. So we have a lot of data on the web. So these can be categorized into 3 parts. Web content mining. So content mining refers to the text, the video, the audio, the image, and the structured record. The next part, web structured mining. This part is referred to the link, hyperlink, document structure, intra-document hyperlink, and inter-document hyperlink. And the third one is the web usage mining. Okay, we can get from the web server, application server log, and application level log. So these are the categories of web mining, or we call as the web mining taxonomy. Okay, the next part is about sentiment analysis on the web data. So sentiment analysis or opinion mining is equivalent to the classification task and regarded as one of the most popular text mining application on the web. Okay, in the mining technique, we have the classification, we have the clustering approach in order to do the analysis. The computational study of opinion, attitude, and emotion toward an entity. So it segregates the sentiment, the basic polarity into the positive, negative, or neutral. So the words opinion, sentiment, view, and belief are used intentionally in this sentiment analysis. So opinion, a conclusion thought out yet open to the dispute. So each expert in the same field may have a different opinion on the same thing. And then the second one is the view, subjective opinion, very assertive in stating his views. So you can give your views, your perspective. And then the belief, deliberate acceptance and intellectual assent. A firm belief in yourself, what you believe. And the fourth one is then sentiment, a settled opinion reflective of one's feelings. Okay, social media generate a high volume of varied data at highly velocity. Okay, when we refer to the social media, people or user involved on giving the opinion, give the view, try to persuade using their own belief and come out with their own sentiment. So people choose to express and voice out their emotion, the opinion through all the social media. Yes, give a lot of data in the web. So a persistent needs to leverage this big social data for the analytic process. And based on that part, we can do certain analysis. Okay, this part is the approach that we can use. Okay, the first one is lexicon based. So these are based on the sentiment, which is collection of known and precompiled sentiment term. is more on sentiment. There are two main approach for compilation of opinion less icon. Okay, sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Less icon. Okay, for example. So the two part is dictionary base and the corpus base. So in the dictionary base approach, a small set of opinion words with their orientation is created manually, and it and is enhanced by searching synonyms and antonyms. So it's based on dictionary base. The second part is about the corpus base. So based on this approach, it use statistical or semantic method in order to find the sentiment polarity. Sentiment polarity, as I mentioned before, negative, positive, and neutral, and determining the emotional affinity of words. Okay, the second part to do the analysis is based on the machine learning method, or based on the machine learning. So the use of the supervised and unsupervised machine learning algorithm. So we base on the algorithm to find out the polarity orientation in the text. The third one, using the hybrid. So we combine the machine learning and the lexicon based approach, either dictionary based or the corpus based. And the fourth, concept based. The concept base is based on huge knowledge base and analyze the conceptual information associated to the natural opinion behind the multi-word expression. And we also call it as the semantic analysis. Okay. And then what are the research trend on the sentiment analysis? Okay, this part is sentiment trend. The sentiment trend. So sentiment analysis is a research direction that drive the cutting edge of social media, mobile, analytic, and cloud. Nowadays we talk about social media, we talk about the mobile devices, we talk about the cloud computing. Okay? So paradigm by transforming text into the knowledge base. And then the challenge aspect of the using social media for sentiment analysis from the domain of the natural language processing, NLP, text analytic, computational linguistic. So based on this part, in order to do sentiment analysis, there are several challenges. Okay, the first one, improve and optimize. How we can improve and optimize the technique that we use for the feature selection due to the high dimensional unstructured social media content. If we do the searching or we try to retrieve information from the database, it's quite easy because all the data are in the structured format. The data type is in the structured format, text is tag, number is number. But how we want to improve and optimize the process of selection or selecting the right information through the media social? Because in the media social, some of us using the short form, and different person have different short form, for example. Okay. Number two, issue with the natural language processing related to the fixed text length, the spelling variation, the slang, the multi-language. Some people use the Manglish words that we can't find in the dictionary. So it's quite tough and challenging. Number third, fine-grained sentiment analysis, accounting for sarcasm, irony, rumor, aspect, and emotion detection, and mashup language. And the last but not least, use of the sentiment analysis as a sub-component technology in business for customer relationship, CRM, and for the recommendation system. So these are the challenge when we want to do the sentiment analysis. We have a lot of data in the internet, from the web document and web services, but how we can extract the correct and the accurate information that we need. Okay, so that's all for the topic. So basically we have two part: IR, web mining, and based on that part, how we can do the analysis on that part and the challenges. So that's all. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.